Here we are again. This is Radio Entrepreneur, streaming more stories of entrepreneurship than anybody else in New England. And that's because there is a new economy and many people are getting back to work, but they're working in different ways. And if we're going to talk about working in different ways, I'd like to talk to my friend in Rhode Island, Dan Murphy, CEO of Silent Reminder Entertainment, and his client and maybe partner, I don't know, Ty Cooper, a.k.a. Messy Ty. Hi, guys.
Yeah, God bless. Hey, thanks for having us, Jeffrey.
Right. First of all, Dan, why don't you tell us about Silent Reminder, and then you can introduce us to Ty.
Absolutely. So Silent Reminder is a record label I created in 2019, essentially with the sole purpose of launching Ty Cooper right here next to me. So by virtue of being partners, we are partners in music, and we're turning this business into something that will show Rhode Island the respect it deserves.
Right. Is this unique to Rhode Island? Are you, you're breaking ground in many ways, Dan?
I'm personally not breaking ground. What Ty and what we are embarking on right now and during this COVID-19, I would say is pretty special. There's not a lot of people doing what we do and to the level of excellence at which we are achieving. So when we are about these albums that we've worked very hard since December, people are going to get a good sense of who Messy Ty was and who Ty Cooper is.
Okay, so Ty, why don't you give us those two answers to what Dan is telling us we're going to learn about. What were you and what are you?
Well, my name is Ty Cooper. I was born and raised in Providence, Rhode Island. And I'm into music, let's just say, since I was 8 years old. I always had a feeling or just some type of Midas touch when it came to, the culture of hip hop. My mom started listening to hip hop when I was young. And then that's when she put me onto it. I want to say from the time I was in third grade till present time, it's been as how long I've been working on the craft. And I want to say it's been more than 10,000 hours. So it came to a point where I abbreviated myself as Messy Ty with the intent to one day become or go by my first and last name, which is Ty Cooper. And there's obviously a whole story to that, but yes.
Well, again, I don't know if we have time for the whole story, but I don't know if you can encapsulate the story or Dan can, but Dan clearly, was a big believer in you from the start. What is it about your music that you think draws people to you? And I wouldn't necessarily consider, Dan to be a typical, listener of your type of music, but I guess I was wrong.
Yes, I would like to describe it as euphoric. I use a lot of my experiences growing up as my canvas, and I've always been in tune with energy and like feelings. So when I would put together music, I would write or do poetry. I would feed off of the energy I get from who could be, the inspiration behind the music, and it somehow translates whether you hear it sonically or on stage. So I think that combination of just life experiences and just passion for the craft and the culture of hip hop definitely is what drawn Dan to the liking of Ty Cooper.
Well, what I heard you say is that you're trying to create a positive energy. And I think right now that's a lot of people are looking for that. Is that what you're finding?
Absolutely. Definitely. This is definitely a time where a lot of my motivation is coming from the outbreak from the, pandemic and, George Floyd and the recent, slayings that have been going on around the world. And now that we're dealing with trying to get some form of justice, reparation, that definitely is what is, fueling the fire for me creatively and just personally.
Are you a solo artist or do you have a group with you?
I am a solo artist.
Do you play instruments as well?
I used to play the trombone in high school.
Wow.
But now he sticks to being an MC, so master of ceremonies, and we've added live accompaniment, a live keyboardist. by the
Okay.
name of Big Walt. We have a bass player, Tyrone Cameron. We have drummer by the name of Ed Cooper, aka Coop. And we have other artists like Joel Robinson and others that are ready to tap in. And that live performance is kind of on hold, but we wanted to, like I said, harness the energy and the passion that he has. And we found an alternative place to record so as to not jeopardize the health of some existing members. Our engineer, Kenny Mercado, we didn't want him to be exposed to potential, dangers. So we kind of pivoted and we found another lane to go in and swerving in that Roots Crew lane. So, Questlove and Black Thought, they're going to be looking out.
Wow, interesting. And because you can't do live concerts, are you doing any kind of, let's say, like Zoom concerts, or are you streaming music so that people can get access to you now?
Well, actually,
Yes. This is this time that we've been utilizing during the pandemic. We've been coming up with ideas to just keep, as far as the Ty Cooper audience, engaged. I like to go live on multiple different streaming platforms, and I broadcast. Like Bigo Live is one platform. Facebook and Instagram. I like to do these. Since the quarantine started, I started this thing called Quarantine 16s, where I would go live on Facebook or Instagram, and I'll just like freestyle or just connect with people every other day, or sometimes like on the weekend, just to keep them informed and in tune with what I'm doing. And that's been translating beautifully to for when it's time to put out the music that we've been working on, going live and stuff.
That's great. So again, let's say I wanted to listen to your music. How could I access it? Because that's what this is all about, right?
Absolutely. So you can listen to Messy Ty's catalog on all digital streaming platforms, but as Ty Cooper, it's a beautiful start to something new. So as far as the Ty Cooper show, as far as like the next step in the evolving part of the brand that we're building, you can listen to all the old music leading up to the Ty Cooper sound.
We received some good news yesterday. So Is It Safe Yet? Tracks, which are an EP that we worked on starting in December. We have our radio edit. We have visuals to go along with it that we're going to be releasing very soon. We did have a hiccup with BMI that needed to resolve so as to make sure that, again, Ty gets all of his royalties and publishing that he deserves and earns, so that they're not lost in the ether. We want to make sure that from the get-go, we do this right. We calculate, we cut once, but we measure 2 or 3 or 4 times if necessary.
This is a business show, Ty, and here you have beside you to your left an ex-shareholder of a bank and somebody who's also been in real estate development. How did you find Dan? And you're transforming Dan as well, but how does Dan transform you?
Well, I believe in divine timing. Silent reminder is also another silent reminder for me when it comes to that divine timing, as far as like when you meet or connect with certain people. I just so happened to have met someone who was going to a school that Dan went to, which was Brown University at the time. I was performing there regularly, and I came across the individual who was graduating Brown at the time, and he was going back to California, where he was from. And just how we crossed paths, very natural. It was through a mutual friend, but it's ironic how that mutual friend, through that mutual friend, like that person was like, you know what, I like you a lot, so I'd like to bring you to California. And I was praying, like I was literally going through a unique situation with my dad at the time, when I voluntarily lived with him at the time. And I was praying to, get to Hollywood somehow, some way. I was really praying on it. And then I just I met someone who, who's from Los Angeles, graduating from Brown University, as I'm performing regularly, and it so happens to be like, you know what, I love you, dude. I want to bring you back to California with me. And I didn't take him serious at first. I thought he was just, just busting my balls, so to speak. But he was serious. And then around the time I met him, we went out to lunch, and that's when I crossed paths with Dan Murphy. And Dan Murphy letting me know then that, he's the type of person that I would like to be around and learn from, as far as not just, to assist me, but to like someone that I can learn and be inspired from, as far as, being into the banking and real estate. Like, I believe that I desire to be around people who actually have a means to, be successful and to be self-sufficient. And Dan is a perfect representation of that. So I feel like, just even just where Dan lives and just the environment, it's definitely an environment that meshes well with me, especially where I come from. And Dan letting me know then that you metaphorically passed the life expectancy coming from Chad Brown project. So that definitely, that was a silent reminder then. It's even more of a, silent reminder now.
Well, you definitely found in Dan Murphy a compelling force of nature. There's no doubt about it. I've known Dan for a few years now, and I always look forward to my interactions with him. We've been speaking with Dan Murphy, CEO of Silent Reminder Entertainment, and Ty Cooper. Dan and Ty, if someone wants to get hold of either one of you, especially you, Dan, because we've already heard from Ty on this, how do they find you at Silent Reminder?
Silent Reminder Entertainment is the website that has been published and launched. Since we're releasing the tracks to Is It Safe Yet? Matter of fact, very soon, I don't want to spoil it yet because we have some promotion to go behind it. But let's just say within 10 days, audiences are going to be able to listen to Is It Safe Yet? Have visuals to accompany it. And will actually not just listen, but they'll see the maturity in Ty, since they've seen him take, we'll call it a little bit of hiatus as far as the frequency of work. However, to answer your question, on Instagram, Facebook, on these live platforms is where others have been able to see what we're doing. But again, due to privacy and being very kind of secretive, I don't want to give the talent that this man has away for free when you really should pay for it, because we all know that nothing in life is free.
Absolutely. I agree with you. Been speaking with Dan Murphy and Ty Cooper. Guys, we hope you come back again, and we'd like to link in with some of that music once you release it. And great success, and thanks for the positive messages.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
Thank you so much.
Good luck to both of you, and remind everybody, this is Radio Entrepreneurs.